then you probably work under table, because French is their #1 language. Well, the same in Ontario, English part of Canada, you know. So what happens now? The French in Quebec, in Montreal, they focus on their own colonial empires. You know, people from Cameroon, French Cameroon, from Côte d'Ivoire, all these French countries. I think Senegal, the French part of Canada, the French colonies in Africa, even the French new colonies in Africa. The immigrants are taken, you know. Our government will train them, and they come and import them here. Take a few of them, fill a few positions, then the rest they tell them to go and enter the taxi and go and drive, you know, Miss Daisy. You have doctors here from Nigeria, smart people, man. They will come here and be driving Miss Daisy. What a shame, you know. So when you're talking about multiculturalism, you have to understand that that is first of all an illusion, and that Canada was never a de facto or de jure multicultural nation. You see, the borders to Canada were opened up to Africans, so-called Africans, to Nubians. It was opened up to Nubians in 1970, from 1970. You see, their history has been full of anti-multicultural, racist, bigoted, slanted, uninformed views and perspectives about African, about Nubians, you know. You see, they closed their borders, man. The first settlers, the first immigrants they allowed into were northern Europeans and whites from U.S. The Negroes in the U.S., man, told them to keep their black ass in the plantation. And there was slavery in Canada too. So all these niggas, I thought they were escaping from Babylon. They went from frying pan to fire. You see? Because the Canadian cracker, man, he ain't gonna torment you, but his own self-righteousness is so much, man. You know? His own self-righteousness is that's why he's like, man. Where does the Negro go to get rest? You know? Yeah. So then Negroes in the continent, man, they came from the continent to the Canadian border. They allowed them in 1970 onwards. These Negroes, man, running away from their country. What are you scared of, man? You are educated. Why can't you use your education and change your own environment? I'm not saying, you know, we should follow the way this Western society is modeled. You see, just like Asians are copying Westerners, you know. Asians, they have their ass up, they have their head up the white man's ass, man, straight up. So conformed, and yes sir, we do that, Mr. Whitey. You know, I'm not talking about that, you know. I'm talking about using the instruments, you know, using our knowledge, both ancient and foreign. Take what is necessary from Western science and incorporate it into our own, you know, traditional institutions. See. So, Canada, you need to stop posing as multicultural when you know you're not. You're not multicultural. Your hypocrisy is so blatant, you know. Ignorance is bliss, you know, and knowledge is sobering. Ignorance is bliss, knowledge is sobering. So when I come through all serious, man, that's because, man, no rest. The knowledge will give you no rest, because, you know, with freedom, knowledge is freedom, and with freedom comes responsibility. You now understand your responsibility, and you then understand that your responsibility is so much